I know you like to make money. You're never going to stop making money. Very, very few people on the planet know how to make money like you know how to make money. But some of this stuff has got to stop. I sit here with sadness today to report to you that I'm incredibly disappointed in one of my all-time favorite fighters, my brother, Floyd Money Mayweather.
So that article sparked rumors that you are bankrupt. How do you respond to that? I don't think you have publicly responded yet.
Everybody's entitled to their own opinion. I mean, if we call having 2 private jets, owning 100 buildings, being able to do what you want to do, if that's bankrupt, then I'm pretty sure everybody want to live like that.
Yes. That's all he need to do to erase that debt. Don't go to the damn poker table. Don't go to the blackjack table. Don't go to the slot machine, for crying out loud, even if it's only asking you for $1. Don't do it. Stay the hell out of the casino other than your performance.
Stephen A. Smith recently suggested that Floyd Mayweather could eventually face financial trouble because of his extremely expensive lifestyle and ongoing spending habits. Rather than presenting it as a bold or controversial claim, he delivers it more as a cautionary message, highlighting how quickly wealth can diminish once the public attention and career earnings begin to decline.
It ain't good to make all that money if you ain't got any of it to keep for yourself, bro. When you look at the Vegas casinos, just think twice about going down there yourself. That's all. Send your boys to do it for you. Order room service. Chill out, do something. Anything but gamble, bro. Keep your money. Because as great as you are, I got news for you. You ain't gonna be able to perform like that forever. We all get old. Father Time is undefeated. Make sure your wallets are fat when that day comes for you. All right?
Stephen A. Smith notes that Floyd Mayweather is believed to have brought in roughly $1.1 billion over the course of his career. However, he suggests that the same extravagant image that helped define the Money Mayweather persona could also be why that wealth may not last as long as many would expect.
He's a gambling addict. He got baby mamas all over the... What do you mean is he broke? Of course he's broke. What boxer do you know that isn't broke? What a ridiculous question. But it's the fact that they're attempting to tease him. I mean, first off, they're asking the question. Look, I've told you until I'm blue in the face. The numbers that you hear in boxing simply aren't true. Floyd made $1 billion. No, he didn't. Floyd and Conor made $500 million. No, they didn't. Of course they didn't. Nobody's ever confirmed that. And it's the same thing with the check. I got $100 million for a fight. Oh, you did? Who signed the check? Whoever signed the check is going to want credit for it. There's never been a time that $1 million check was written and the dude that wrote the check didn't make sure that somebody found out he wrote the check. So who wrote the check? Floyd's got a whole bunch of them, apparently. He got $1 billion. Who wrote the check?
Over the years, Floyd Mayweather consistently projected a persona built around boundless riches, frequently showcasing piles of money on social media, along with designer timepieces, private aircraft, sprawling estates, and a public image defined by carefree, high-end spending.
Part of that is because of the way Floyd Mayweather goes about his business. He's been filthy rich. He's made his name, his legacy, and a lot of his reputation wasn't just the boxing, it was the money. It's the money man. What I have, what I'm driving, what I'm living in, what I'm flying in. And a lot of people, they don't like that. I don't know if Floyd Mayweather had more supporters for most of his fights or more haters, but regardless of where you fall on that line, Floyd Mayweather made it work for him when many people, promoters included, networks included, early on didn't think that he can do it.
Stephen A. Smith explains that this image was highly effective while Floyd Mayweather was still competing, particularly during his peak years when he was earning somewhere between $100 million and $200 million per fight. During that period, he even made headlines for purchasing a watch valued at around $18 million, a moment that reflected just how extreme the spending had become. However, Smith points out that after retirement, when those enormous fight earnings were no longer coming in, sustaining that same level of luxury turned into a much tougher task.
Even Floyd, like when you make yourself like we got issues over your anger, he's still the best fighter out there. Until somebody beat him, that's who he is.
Do you think he should step back in the ring?
I think he got to right now because the money gone.
So the money's really gone?
Yeah, that's what you think. It's fight, get the money, spend the money, fight.
All that money.
And it took been 2 years.
So is it just his overhead is so high on a day-to-day, month-to-month? Like
I don't even want to talk about it. Like with the lifestyle, that money is gone. Trust me. Now it's like you call him, he'll be at your local host in a nightclub because you need that action right now.
wow.
According to Stephen A. Smith, this is where exhibition fights start to make sense. In his view, they appear to be driven less by the desire to compete and more by the need to sustain a costly way of living. He also brings up the long-standing criticism aimed at Floyd Mayweather regarding his education, remarks that critics used in the past, which he says are now resurfacing alongside current speculation about his finances, creating an uncomfortable echo of those earlier jabs. Smith emphasizes that this discussion has been around for years and isn't something that has only recently emerged.
They've been accusing Floyd of going broke for 20 years. Maybe down to 200 million. Maybe that's just broke. I don't know. What I do know is his homes is still there. Every time he called me, his stars on the roof, right? So I don't know unless somebody is hacked into this man's finances. They always accuse the man of going broke. Maybe he's bored. Maybe somebody came and told him, man, we got 200-300 million, man, to get in the ring. I can guarantee you, he ain't broke. He's making a lot of sound investment. And the investments I've seen being made ain't the investments of someone that's...
In 2020, 50 Cent, who had shifted from being an ally to a critic of Floyd Mayweather, stated during a radio appearance that Mayweather's fortune was already depleted, a remark that quickly ignited widespread discussion at the time. Whether or not Stephen A. Smith is accurate, his main argument is clear. When a public image is built around the idea of unlimited riches, even minor talk about financial trouble can instantly grow into major global attention.
Might be wondering, how does a guy in Floyd's position not have someone watching his money? The answer is that someone is watching. It's just that it's in that person's best interest to watch the money go away.
Why?
Because if it were up to Floyd, he'd probably never fight again. He's got an undefeated record, something he's extremely proud of. So if you see him talking up about that doesn't make sense, like fighting the MMA star Conor McGregor or the Japanese kickboxer Tenshin Nasukawa, it means one thing: the money is gone. That's why it's in the manager, promoter, and accountant's best interest for him to stay broke. Otherwise, he's never going to lace those gloves up again and bring in another massive...
And just as Stephen A. Smith's comments about potential financial trouble had people joking as if Floyd Mayweather was close to running out of money, Nicholas Irving enters the conversation with a perspective that shifts the tone. His account makes the situation feel less like a straightforward claim and more like a detailed look into a larger-than-life persona, filled with first-hand observations, speculation, and high-stakes living. Irving essentially explains that he isn't tracking Mayweather's exact finances, but he has personally witnessed the lifestyle from close range. And according to him, it goes far beyond occasional luxury purchases. It's not just about owning a single flashy piece and stopping there.
Like, what is broke? He don't have $0. Floyd still has money, a lot. I just think that maybe the lifestyle and, I don't know, maybe catching up. I mean, I don't know. He's got money coming in. I don't know if he still has was it the girls' lounge or something like that.
Instead, it's described as something much bigger, a constantly moving entourage, dozens of people strong. Shopping trips, dining out, private flights, high-stakes gambling, even renting out entire movie theaters just for personal use, as if everything else paused for his convenience. That picture alone says a lot about the money persona built by Floyd Mayweather. Spending wasn't just a habit, it became part of the show itself. Nicholas Irving adds that Mayweather could go through $500,000 or even $1 million with the same ease most people spend on everyday expenses. It sounds extreme, but it lines up with the massive earnings he once brought in and the larger-than-life image he carefully crafted, where luxury and excess were central to his identity. What makes his perspective more compelling, though, is that he doesn't just agree with the criticism. He also challenges parts of it.
But no, it was, he gets money, I just don't know how much, but I don't pocket watch. But if he is going broke, then it makes sense why he is fighting. I've heard rumors. I've heard the rumors too. I just don't know, like, how, like, what is broke? Broke to me is like having $0 in your...
However, Nicholas Irving doesn't fully agree with the idea that Floyd Mayweather is completely out of money. He acknowledges that the lifestyle may be extreme, the expenses unusually high, and that some of the speculation could have a basis. But he suggests that labeling him as broke is an oversimplification that gets used too loosely, especially for someone who still knows how to stay relevant. That's really the key point. Mayweather has always had a sharp understanding of attention, knowing that criticism, doubt, and even negativity can still serve as powerful promotion. People can question his finances or call his decisions reckless, but in the end, the conversation always circles back to what he's doing next. And that ongoing attention feels less accidental and more like part of a calculated strategy.
Not a stupid guy whatsoever.
No, and I don't think, that's what I'm saying, I don't think he's broke. I think it's a lot of, to get eyes on the fight. I mean, this happens every fight, for the past few fights. Oh, he's doing it for the money, he's doing it for the money. I don't know what people are calling broke, but been to his house, hung out with him quite a bit. He ain't broke.
And as Nicholas Irving, U.S. Army Ranger, paints a picture of Floyd Mayweather luxury parade, Mike Tyson enters the conversation and somehow shifts the tone to serious without ever raising his voice. In this interview, Tyson comes across less like a retired legend seeking attention and more like a seasoned strategist who still studies the landscape for insight. What immediately stood out was his passion for amateur boxing. He speaks about it with more reverence than many fighters show for world titles, and that says a lot. Tyson isn't indulging in nostalgia. He's breaking down the fundamentals of what creates greatness. He references Vasily Lomachenko and his massive amateur background, then points to the bigger problem. There are fewer boxing gyms, fewer rounds, and fewer young fighters gaining real experience. Essentially, Tyson argues that America wants champions without maintaining the infrastructure to develop them, a bit like expecting Formula One drivers while shutting down the racetracks.
Custom auto shape you as a fighter in person.
Yeah. I fought a lot in the gym. I had fights in the gym. I sparred every day for years. I kept sparring, always sparred in the gym to keep me active and have me always ready to fight. That's what boxing is about, repetition, over and over again. That's what I always did, over and over, boxed every day. It wasn't maybe Sunday we didn't box, but I boxed every day.
Then Tyson shifts to his own story, and that moment hits differently. He recalls how boxing found him in reform school and how he watched battered kids return with smiles because of the sport. That's classic Mike Tyson logic. Everyone looked beaten up, yet somehow alive. That resilience is exactly what drew him in. When the interviewer pivots back to stirring controversy about Floyd Mayweather, Tyson quietly deflates the drama. He emphasizes there's no personal animosity, calls a show, and confirms they're going to fight. His calm delivery lands far stronger than any loud, staged rant ever could. Tyson's secret sauce is that when he's relaxed, you should pay attention. From there, he moves into discussing eras, pointing out that fighters from his time were like war horses, noting that Alexander Usyk would have faced a much harsher reality, giving Terence Crawford respect, and acknowledging talents like Shakur Stevenson, Keshin Harper, and Inu. He even defends David Benavidez, suggesting boxing still owes him fair compensation.
But you said you wanted to knock out Floyd, Mike. Where's all this animosity coming from? This is supposed to be a fun exhibition.
I have no animosity. You know, we is boxing. We're two fighters. We're boxing.
So this is going to be a show?
I'm not knocking out anybody. Nobody's knocking me out. We're going to fight. We're going to fight.
It's going to be a nice show for the people to watch. Is it still happening? Any new details you could share?
Yes, it's going to happen. It's going to happen. Thank God. Thank God. I'm so grateful for it.
So, while much of the conversation revolves around whether a Tyson versus Mayweather matchup is spectacle or serious business, Mike Tyson speaks with the perspective of someone who still sees boxing from the basement gyms all the way up to the spotlight. That's why even today when Tyson talks, the sport pays attention. Meanwhile, Logan Paul bursts onto the next segment like a guy trying to turn a fight announcement into a comedy routine. Part of it is pure chaos. But hidden in the mess is a sharp truth. Logan keeps pointing out that both Mayweather and Tyson are older, that they've tangled with the Paul brothers, and that they're in it for the paychecks. He delivers it with a kind of confidence that comes from knowing the internet will amplify the spectacle regardless of what he says. That here's the twist. Even as he mocks the event, he proves its appeal. He predicts it'll be terrible, that fans will complain, and that people will swear off future Tyson exhibitions. But he also acknowledges that millions will still watch anyway. That paradox perfectly sums up the modern fight business in one wild, over-the-top package.
Do you want to know what's going to happen? I'll tell you what's going to happen. First and foremost, obviously, Mike Tyson and Floyd Mayweather are both just robbing the bank. They are collecting a paycheck, as they should, because they're both legends who worked their whole career, respect to them, to make this amazing brand for themselves, known as like the best fighters in the world. And now they get to cash in on it in the later part of their life.
Logan dives into a discussion about the attention economy, and surprisingly, he's not entirely off the mark. His point is that raw skill alone doesn't fuel the hype anymore. Now it's all about spectacle, controversy, viral clips, and memes. That's why figures like Floyd and Tyson remain at the center of conversation, while many current champions struggle to earn recognition, barely making a ripple compared to a weak Wi-Fi signal. But he takes it a step further when analyzing Floyd's style, suggesting that if Floyd wanted, he could make a fight look both ugly and effortless. That's one of those rare moments where his jokes actually line up with real boxing insight. Regardless of opinions on any matchup, Floyd's strategic mind in the ring has always been meticulous, like a high-stakes audit with gloves done, of course. The humor is amplified because it's Logan saying all of this. He critiques the circus, while clearly wearing the clown shoes himself.
Dude, Floyd Mayweather, although he still owes me $1.5 million.
Well, he's 50 now too.
Not almost.
Well, now he's got the money to pay.
Pay up.
He's never paying that.
Is so good at boxing. He really is probably the greatest technical boxer to ever live. He's so good. If he wanted to take Mike Tyson out in less than 3 rounds, he could. He's not going to because he respects Mike Tyson. They're robbing the bank. Kudos to them for doing it. I think it's great. Get your money.
Chaotic, loud, a bit over the top, yet oddly truthful about something everyone recognizes. All of us, fans, critics, skeptics, the self-righteous purists, we act attached until fight night arrives, and suddenly that remote looks way more tempting. When you layer all of it together, that's what makes the Floyd Mayweather saga so captivating. On one side, Stephen A. Smith is waving red flags, hinting that the Mayweather money machine might not be as untouchable as it seems. Then Nicholas Irving steps in, showing a non-stop whirlwind of luxury living. Spending so outrageous, even billionaires might pause. Next, Mike Tyson changes the tone entirely, bringing the conversation back to the heart of boxing. Legacy, discipline, gyms, fighters, substance. And right after that, Logan Paul crashes the scene to remind us that in today's fight world, attention itself is a kind of currency. Put it all together, and the story becomes this strange mix of legacy, wealth, spectacle, ego, and business revolving around Floyd. Is he really facing financial trouble? Or is this just another chapter in the most masterful self-promotion story boxing has ever seen? That's the question hanging over everything.
It's going to be a really boring fight where they aren't throwing real punches, and we watch Floyd Mayweather take it really easy.
I want to know happen. In the room.
It's gonna go all rounds unless they agree on like a body shot or something.
The back office, yes, this is a great idea. Let's pay each of them $20 million each, even if it's more or less.
Yep.
How does that get approved?
Exhibitions, baby.
Tell me what you think down in the comments. Is Floyd actually under financial stress? Or is he just moving pieces on a chessboard while everyone else plays checkers? And this Tyson fight, smart business, a legacy play, or just pure entertainment for modern boxing fans? Don't forget to hit like, share this video, and subscribe to my channel for more. Catch you in the next one.